Welcome into Better in Green Live. We have not been live for a little while here. A couple crazy weeks with Christmas, New Year's, holiday break. Also, just a weird schedule in football. A lot of NFL games being played Saturday and Sunday. We've had bowl games going on Mondays as well. But we are back. We are back, and there is no Monday Night Football tonight. We will have Monday Night Football. I believe we have a playoff game on Monday, don't we? Yeah, Vikings
We
Rams
do.
will be on Monday next week. So we will probably have a live talking about that wild card game next Monday. But we just wanted to hop on quickly. We're going to talk about a couple bets tonight. Again, it's getting to that time of the year where sports are a little sparse, and you get these days like Mondays and Fridays that are just bad betting days. But there are a couple games that we're looking at. I have dove completely into the FCS football championship game tonight. Which is a huge mistake, but I'm an idiot if you haven't realized that by now. But I'm looking forward to that. Again, that is NCAA AA football tonight, their national championship game. But we do have a little bit of NBA, a little bit of college hoops, a little bit of NHL. Yeah, just wanted to get on here and chat. We are going to look a little bit into the college football playoff as well as the NFL playoff. NFL season just wrapped up last night with the Lions, shout out Lions, securing the number one overall seed in the NFC, first time ever. So very exciting for the Lions. Big win. They do have a first round bye, which is huge for them to get healthy, as well as the Chiefs. Ben's Chiefs got a first round bye in the AFC. But Ethan, welcome. How you doing on this lovely Monday night?
Yeah, glad to be back live, even though the slate is complete ass. Which I guess is good for that FCS game because it's gonna get a lot more views than what they would if there was actually decent college basketball or I don't know if too many people really watch the NHL or NBA, really, to be honest with you. But um, yeah, so I guess good for them. But yeah, Lions game was awesome last night. Still can't even really believe they're 15-2 and have the 1 seed. It was my best day in NFL of the year, probably because the public finally didn't win. But of course, I lowered my units a little bit. I did like 2/3 of a unit instead of a full unit on every play. So that it's par for the course on the year, I guess. But yeah, happy to at least get on here and talk a little bit.
Yeah, me as well. Quickly, I will just go over again FCS championship game tonight. That is double A in college football. I know nothing about this, but I have placed some bets. The big news here that I did look up, it's first of all North Dakota State, the perennial powerhouse, against Montana State, who is kind of the new powerhouse. Montana State is all the way up to a 4.5 point favorite here. Over under is 58.5. Big story here. Montana State was highly ranked last year, lost in the first round second round to North Dakota State in overtime, tied the game up in overtime, failed the extra point, and ultimately lost that game to North Dakota State. These two teams also played 3 years ago in the FCS championship game. They both had the same quarterbacks from then, both have a lot of the same players. So it's an intense matchup. A lot of emotions. Again, revenge game for Montana State. And I went the touchdown route here. 58.5 points is quite a bit. These are two very run heavy teams, which is a majority of these FCS schools. And it's also what happens when you play in the middle of nowhere in the north. They do have a lot of indoor stadiums, but very run heavy teams. But the total is just so high. So I went a lot of touchdown props, like I said. I don't exactly know their names. I did post it on Twitter, but I took both teams' quarterbacks to score. Trey Lance's little brother is on North Dakota State as well. He's a wide receiver, and he is an absolute freak. So I have him to score and a couple other players to score in there. So if you do want my FCS championship game bets, those are over on my Twitter. Ethan, you probably haven't even looked at this game because, again, I haven't watched a single FCS game besides Colorado against North Dakota State in week 0. And that's about all I've ever watched of this level of football. But do you have anything that you looked at on this game?
No, I saw your plays, so I'll just be rooting for you from afar. But I'm actually pumped to watch it. So
Yeah,
as
me
a
as well.
viewer, I'll tune in, maybe do something live if I see an opportunity. Montana State, though, undefeated with a win against New Mexico, who went on to beat Washington State when they were 18th in the country. So kind of cool for them. But completely off topic. Just give me a quick minute because I just thought of something that I just give me 1 minute.
Yep. we will be right back. Again, I did just have my FCS championship bets. That is Division II college football. I mean, we're at that point in the year where we're getting a little crazy on the bets, a little sparse on sports to watch. So I did dabble in D1 AA football. If you do want those bets, those are on my Twitter. But yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. My bad, but I forgot I bought these a while ago, and I have not tried one yet. This is
Wow.
like a whole little thing here. So what better time to try one than Victory Monday? Victory, what day is it? Monday.
Monday. A little
After clinching the 1 seed.
clinching the 1 seed in Detroit. A little, what is it called? Fan Zone IPA.
Fan Zone IPA.
Wow.
I don't even really feel like drinking it all right now, but here we go.
I love it. Yeah, if you guys are unaware, we are massive Lions fans. Ethan, much more a Lions fan than I am. I'm a college sports guy. Ethan is a big Lions fan, but still, number 1 seed for Detroit. First round bye. Huge. Also, Super Bowl favorites. They've been the Super Bowl favorites for quite a while now. Maybe dropped off that loss against Buffalo, but back up, I think on DraftKings are plus 280 to win the Super Bowl, which I would not take with a 20-foot pole. But if you do have preseason or this week futures on the Lions, I'm feeling fairly good that they're going to make a little run here. Also, I know we're getting a little off topic here, but looked at the Lions schedule that just came out.
Yeah.
It's a doozy. That's a doozy. That is not a 15-2 schedule.
Yeah,
and if it is 15-2, they're the best team ever to exist.
Yeah. I think there's 4 non-playoff teams on there. 2 of them are the Bears. And then I think it's Cincinnati is another one, and then Cleveland.
Yeah.
There might be another one in there.
Good opportunity for me to see a Lions game next year because they're at Washington, at Baltimore, and at Philly, which are all within 2 hours from me.
Yeah.
Washington's 40 minutes away. Baltimore's hour 10 away. So I might have to go snag a game next year.
I might have to make the drive.
You might have to. It's a pretty easy drive. It's kind of a pain in the ass, or maybe you just catch the flight.
That could work.
Go ahead.
Really quick, speaking on the futures, just because I found this crazy. To win the conference, to advance to the Super Bowl to represent the NFC, plus 115 on Detroit, which again would not touch that with a 10-foot pole. Also, this is pretty damn good. I like this.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Let's just first, before we dive into these playoffs, do you have anything you want to talk about tonight in any sports? I know we just covered the FCS college football national championship game. Again, that's AA. I do have one hockey bet, and I'm simply taking a friend's bet on this, and I don't feel confident at all. But I did take the over in the Panthers and the Avalanche. I think that is very public. I got it at 6. It's at 6.5 now, but that's plus 105. So that's my one NHL bet tonight. Do you have anything in college basketball, NBA, or NHL that you're looking
at? I'm not betting any of them, I don't believe, but leans in hockey would be the Sabres money line, and then the Devils Kraken under 6. But I'm kind of done betting NHL totals, so I wouldn't take that with a grain of salt. But the Devils just have sucked. I think they have 6 goals in their last 4 games. So not scoring really at all for the Devils, and the Kraken don't score too much either. So kind of caught my eye. As far as basketball goes, I actually have not looked at the last 2 games on the schedule. But I kind of like, who was it? The Knicks. It's a big number, but I kind of like the Knicks
against the Magic?
But again, don't think I'm going to bet it.
Yeah, I've struggled in the NBA. I do have a $10 no sweat bet on DraftKings that I am using tonight. Same game parlay or parlay X. So I have Malik Beasley for the Pistons, 20 plus points. Ayton for the Blazers, 15 plus points. Beal for the Suns, 15 plus points. And then Giannis, 30 plus points. Again, it's a no free, sweat free bet. Don't feel super confident that. I do kind of like the Sixers tonight. They're without Embiid, and they're +1 against the Suns. I saw them at like -4 somehow against the Suns, and now they're +1. So 5 points swings for Embiid being out. I don't hate it, but last time I bet either on or against a star player or against injured player theory was the Hawks. against Kawhi Leonard's debut, which I think was yesterday or Saturday. I don't remember. Saturday, maybe. The Hawks lost by like 35 points. So that was not the bet. Kawhi Leonard is back and he is healthy, and it was not a smart bet to bet on his return and his debut. But yeah, again, NBA, I don't care about it right now, and I'm not finding any winning bets. So unless again DraftKings offers sweat-free bets, I'm not gonna touch NBA for a little while until I at least start paying attention to it a little more.
Yeah, I've struggled in the NBA this year, which kind of shocks me because I've done really well in the NBA. But I actually looked at the Sixers as well. The reason that I stayed off is because they're back home off a 6-game road trip that started on Christmas Day. And the way the road trip went, they started 3-0, getting a win against the Celtics on Christmas to start it. Lost 2 in California there, and then finished off with a win in Brooklyn. So I think coming home, winning the road trip 4-2, especially with getting the clinching, victory to have a successful winning road trip in your last game out, is kind of what's keeping me off the Sixers. But yeah, I wouldn't play the Suns.
Yeah. If you guys do have any bets you like tonight, please let us know in the comments, or games you want us to talk about, please let us know in the comments. Quickly, let's jump over to college basketball. Again, I don't have any college basketball bets. I just want to point out a couple good games and odd lines. We have Wisconsin at Rutgers. Wisconsin's a 1.5 point favorite on the road. That seems a little weird to me. We also have another Big Ten game between Ohio State and Minnesota, which will be a decent game as well. But besides that, I'm not seeing much I like. We do have 2 ranked college basketball games tomorrow, including Tennessee and number 8 Florida. Number 1 Tennessee, number 8 Florida, and we also have Michigan, my boys in blue, number 24 against number 22 UCLA. So 2 big games tomorrow. There's also some other great games in college basketball. Again, college basketball is a weird schedule. It's Tuesdays, it's Thursdays, and it's Saturdays are the big games. Monday nights, Wednesday nights, and Friday nights usually kind of suck. There might be 1 or 2 good games, but the big games in college basketball are Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturday. So if you do want to bet on those, we usually will have at least 1 video a week now that college football is winding down in college basketball. Me and Ethan do really enjoy betting college basketball as well as watching. Both our teams, Michigan and Michigan State, are ranked as well. So we will get much deeper into college basketball. So stay tuned to our page for more videos on those. But do you have any leans in college basketball today? I didn't even look at tomorrow's slate. I just looked at the schedule and saw 2 ranked games, but I haven't looked at any bets.
Yeah, it's the smallest lean on Wisconsin, just because Rutgers on deck has 2 ranked opponents in Purdue and UCLA, but I don't think I can get there. Rutgers off a lost 2 of their last 3, one of which was to Princeton. So Princeton obviously has made some noise the last few years, but Rutgers should probably win that game. But just speaking on the rankings, because you brought up Michigan State, we do have Utah State squeaking in to the top 25 at 25, our first Mountain West ranking of the year, which for anyone that has followed along with us, kind of like the Mountain West. So give us more ranked Mountain West teams.
To fade for me.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm just looking at this now. Florida -2 at home against number 1 Tennessee.
Really?
I think that means we have to take Florida.
Did you watch Florida and Kentucky on Saturday?
Yeah. Florida lost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But holy heck, are they good?
Yeah. And
I'll
didn't we
say this.
say
SEC is winning the national championship. I don't know which
yeah.
team is going to come out of it, but absolutely, those guys have athletes that Sparty couldn't dream of.
Yeah, and Auburn's unreal as well. Bama.
Auburn's great. Yep.
Even Tennessee,
Florida.
Kentucky, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Someone is, or they're just going to beat each other to smithereens, which also could happen. But still, whoever comes out of that is, but there's going to be 10 teams in the tournament from the SEC. So whichever one of those 10 is going to, yeah, I completely agree. I think they're in a completely different class of college basketball players.
Yeah.
But I will unfortunately, I will 100% be on Florida. I am surprised I didn't look at that. I need to make a video on that ASAP. Florida off a loss, 2-point favorites. Yes, they're at home, but come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what I'll be on. God, I'm glad I found that. A little upset I didn't see it earlier, but yeah, let's get into what do you want? Let's get into NFL since it's the most recent playoff bracket we have here. I'm just looking at wild card weekend. I did put some previews out on my own personal page of the playoffs, but also the wild card. I'm really, uh, and if you guys haven't known, me and Ethan have struggled in the NFL because favorites have been winning at an unreal clip. Public has been winning at an unreal clip. Like these are numbers that have not been hit in 10 to 15 to 20 years in the betting world for favorites for public teams. And I don't know if I'm just biased or scarred from that, but I have a hard time seeing really. I don't. I don't think Vikings Rams is a coin flip. But I have a really hard time seeing any dog win round one in the wild card. Maybe the Packers pull something out of their ass. I mean, maybe the Commanders against a terrible Tampa secondary. I don't know. I'm. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I think Houston and Green Bay are both live dogs, but I don't see the others. I will be no Lions football this week, which means I get to root for somebody else. I will be the biggest Washington fan.
Oh yeah,
Oh
I
my God.
completely agree.
That might be a 10-point spread if Washington has to come up to Detroit. That's
That's the dream opponent,
yes. Oh my God.
and I think they're going to get absolutely destroyed by Tampa Bay. But Tampa Bay's defense is very bad, especially
Yeah.
their secondary. They're banged up, and Washington is not good. But if they sling it, and if Jaden Daniels is feeling right, and they're connecting on deep balls, I mean, Tampa Bay looked a little weary last week, which understandable, kind of, I guess. But I don't know.
While we're on Tampa, I just need your quick opinion on the Mike Evans 1,000-yard play.
I loved it. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset. I had his over 91 and a half yards, thinking because that was all that my bookie had. I was like, oh, 91 and a half. What does he need? 85 to get the record? Yeah, he's going to go 6 over. He finished what? 89. I think he got the record by 3 or 4 yards. Um, I'm all here for it. I saw that FanDuel didn't even let you bet under 90, so they just pretty much won every single Mike Evans bet that they had out there
Jeez.
on yards. But I'm all here for it. Are you? Are you not?
I am. I'm just like I'm shocked that they ran it, to be honest with you.
I don't think it was. I think it was a Baker Mike kind of situation, like kind of like
Yeah.
a Winston. Um, what did he do a couple years ago? Jameis, didn't he?
Yeah, he he QB sneaked when they called a knee,
Yeah, but
punching a late touchdown.
oh, I thought it was like a Jamal Williams thing, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, it
Did it
was.
instead of a
He gave
knee?
it to
They
Jamal,
yeah.
but they called a knee. Um,
I wouldn't be.
I heard though that Byron Leftwich is all about the incentives.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be shocked if he called that up for Mike, but I'm just like, holy shit, you didn't even have the playoffs locked in. Like,
Yeah, I
that's a
mean,
one-score game.
oh shit,
I
that is
loved it.
true.
I love that it worked. I almost feel like the Saints played
It's
off
true
a little
because
bit.
I was gonna say they probably knew the Falcons lost, but the Falcons was in overtime at this point,
Yeah.
so that wasn't locked up.
No.
Huh. I didn't even think about that. I mean, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Mike Evans guy. He's been on my fantasy team, I think, for 4 years consecutively now. Love it. But yeah, I guess when you put it in that scenario, it's yeah.
Like if that went sideways, I mean, that's
Granted,
everyone's fired.
it looked like the safety didn't really care. The
That's what I
nickelback
thought.
definitely was playing defense, but the one guy I think knew what was going on and didn't
Right.
really care.
I
But
think
yeah,
if it were me, I would have done like one of those little pop passes. Just the quick, can't mess this
yeah.
up.
Think of like because he was like in the way early. He was like in the early or the narrow slot there, the closest to the center. Think of like the corner knew what was going on and just from the outside in, pick
Yeah.
six that.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, did anyone really know that was gonna? I don't know. Looked like a couple guys. I don't know. Yeah, that's an interesting point. Think if that happened, what would the talking
Oh my
point be on
God.
that?
If they missed the playoffs because they were trying to get Mike 4 yards or whatever it was.
Yeah, that'd been
But
nuts.
it worked out. I'm with you. I'm here for it. I don't know. Seemed a little crazy.
Yeah. I agree. And then you have Kyler Murray, who I took his incentives, and I think he had a 2 million incentives for 40 rushing yards and a touchdown, and I think he had 20
Passed
yards and didn't even
before.
come close. Yeah, he was trash. Um, yeah, okay. Back to the NFL playoffs here. Chargers and the Texans, I do think is going to be a decent game. That's already up to 2.5 now. It's down to three, 3.5. Or it was up at 3.5. Now it's down to 2.5 in favor of the Chargers, but it's at Houston. I think Ravens are going to roll the Steelers. I think the Bills are going to roll the Broncos. Packers, Eagles depends. Both injury questions there. Jordan Love with the hand issue. I think he'll be fine. Hurts has been out with a concussion. I think he'll be fine. And then Vikings, Rams. If everything goes according to plan for like the favorites winning, the Lions could potentially play the Vikings for the third time. Does that
Yeah,
worry you?
not a ton.
I don't.
I
I'm
think
not
I'd
worried about
still
that
rather
either.
play the Vikings over the Rams.
I agree.
That's why I just want Washington to win so bad because unless Green Bay wins, I mean, I'd take Green Bay probably, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't think playing the Vikings would be terrible back at home. I don't know. I think the Vikings win that game.
Yeah, I love the Vikings in that one. I love it. They lost to 10 in the regular season. They're 1.5 point favorites after shitting the bed last night. Love the Vikings in that game. Um, and again, I would rather play the Vikings than Detroit. Or sorry, than the Rams. Speaking of playoffs, let's go in hypothetical divisional games and conference championship games. We have an 8.5 point favorite and a 10 point favorite between the Ravens, Steelers, Bills, Broncos. Again, if everything goes according to plan, that's going to lead to a Bills Ravens divisional game. What would you lean in that one?
Yeah, I saw your video today, and I think I'm right on point with every pick you made. The only one I think I would flip is Houston over LA in the first round. But I think Baltimore would beat Buffalo. I like Baltimore, Detroit, Super Bowl. Obviously, I'm going to say Detroit, but gun
Yeah,
to my head, I don't know.
yeah, and it's hard to not put the Chiefs in there, but I don't know. I just kind of feel like the Chiefs are just skirting by life. They're just granted they do have 12 guys on their team, including the Stripes, but I don't know. I think Baltimore is eager for revenge. If they do beat the Bills, I like Baltimore quite a bit in that Chiefs rematch. And then the Eagles, if the Eagles do make the conference championship for the NFC, I'm not really scared of them at all. And I don't.
Yeah,
Maybe I should be, but I'm not at all.
I'm not really either.
Like I would be
Yeah, I
more.
so wait, is Buffalo the
Buffalo's a
Buffalo's the 2,
two, Baltimore's a
Baltimore's the
three.
3?
So those two will automatically play if they both win.
God,
There's no scenario where they won't.
that sucks.
I would love if it was
The
a
Chiefs are
potential.
really only going to have one game.
Yeah,
It's going to be the winner of that.
yeah. They
Shoot.
lucked out in the one.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah,
these are starting Saturday, Sunday, and Monday is the NFC, or sorry, is the wild card NFL round. We are getting to that time of the year where big games, and hopefully the bets start going a little bit more sharp than public. And I think they will. I think these are going to be heavily bet on games, way more than regular season. And I think we should be able to sniff out just the squares a little bit more. And I think Vegas is not willing to lose as much money as they did in the regular season. It might give us some actual real lines instead of whatever bullshit they did in the regular season. But I'm feeling optimistic. I think this could be a good playoff for us. Something has to turn, and I know Week 18 was a decent week for me and you in the NFL. So hopefully we can ride that momentum into the wild card weekend. We will have a better in green intentional lounging video out on the NFC, or sorry, on the wild card round coming up here. We'll record that on, I believe, Wednesday. That should be out for you guys on Thursday. But you want to jump quickly. We're into the semifinals in college football. 4 teams left. So if we think back, if this is the original 4-team playoff, which I think is where is my college football at? I do think, I mean, we wouldn't have got what's going on down there. I do think where are we at? We got a pretty good four teams. As bad as the playoffs have been, round one and round two, I think we do have four competitive games here. We have Ohio State, Texas. Ohio State's a 6 point favorite. We have Notre Dame, Penn State. Notre Dame is a 2.5 point favorite. If it was just what the playoffs were like last year, I think these would be very similar matchups, except I think Georgia would be in probably over Ohio State or Notre Dame, but I think Texas would be in, Penn State would be in, and then it would be between Ohio State and Notre Dame and Georgia for those last two spots. But so I think we got a pretty good four, and I'm really looking forward to these games. Quick, if gun to head, if I was forced to pick winners and then national champion, I would go Ohio State wins, I would go Penn State wins, and I go Ohio State national champion.
Yeah, I'd go Ohio State, Notre Dame, Ohio State. But I also think one of the better bets on the board that you could make is Notre Dame +7 against Ohio State in the hypothetical.
Yeah,
And if the matchup doesn't happen, it's a void, so you
I
don't
like
have to
that.
worry about that. But Notre Dame's better than Texas, and Texas is only catching 6.
I agree. Penn State +7.5. I wouldn't touch that, but I do
No,
like that
I
Notre
don't love
Dame.
that one. Yeah, I think Notre Dame +7 and a hypothetical against Ohio State is
I
pretty
like that.
solid.
I like that. That's going to get down to, you would think, 4.5.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you can catch a touchdown. Oof. I love that.
yeah,
And I am pretty biased towards Penn State. I do have futures on Ohio State and Penn State. So I would love a no sweat national championship game. But yeah, I mean, the problem with Penn State is they have not won the big game ever. Maybe twice in 10 years with James Franklin. I know did they beat Ohio State once? I think they beat Ohio State once. They beat Michigan once. But that was before Michigan was really good. I think they beat Ohio State. I don't
yeah. I
know.
don't know.
They can't win the big game. They lose to Ohio State every year. They lose to Michigan, it seems like every year. Um, this is their first time in the playoffs, so maybe I don't know. I Notre Dame also looked. I feel like Notre Dame won that game from coaching. I think they were out athleted, and I think Georgia was the better team. They just were better coached, and that does worry me a little bit because Penn State's got some dogs too. So I don't know. I think Notre Dame is riding the public wave right now, and I don't hate it, but I think their value for me is going to be on Penn State. So I'm still trying to figure out how to bet that game, just because
Yep.
Penn State as a dog is disgusting. But I will take something without taking Notre Dame in that game because I do think Penn State will figure out how to pull it out. But that's on Thursday. We have Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We have a great 5 days ahead of us.
Yep.
So really, really exciting there for NFL and college football. But I don't want to keep you guys too long. Do you have anything you wanted to add before we sign off here and sit in for some FCS college football games?
Yeah. No, only thing I'll add is obviously we broke down every single bowl game this season in great detail, so we're not going to stop with 3 games left. So we will break down Notre Dame, Penn State, and Ohio State, Texas in standalone videos. So be on the lookout for that. Also, a Big Ten championship would be pretty awesome to
Yeah.
have Ohio State, Penn State. But yeah, I'm sad to see it go. I've enjoyed college football more than the NFL this year. From a betting aspect, obviously, Lions is keeping me involved in the NFL. But if the Lions were dog shit, I would have probably given up on the NFL weeks ago because I'm just so done with it. But been crushing college football bowl games and playoffs. So really sad to see it go, but excited for the last 3 games that we have here.
Yep, 3 more games, and then I don't know how many NFL games, but a handful of NFL games left. So it is coming down to the wire here. Hopefully, we can all win some money before these seasons end. Need it in the NFL bad, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like the NFL is going to turn around. But that's all I got. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you did like, subscribe, comment, we really appreciate it. We will be back. Like I said, we have our NFL wildcard video coming out. We have our college football playoff videos coming out. We might have an extra either an NHL, college basketball video in there as well. So stay tuned to our page. for those videos and previews and bets. But until then, guys, we'll see you in the